a dead man called out for his love to flee. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where a necklace of hope side by side with me? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where they strung up a man, they say we run free? Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be. We met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? Dead and called out for his love to free. Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be. We met at midnight in the hanging tree.
How about this? Yep, finally. Welcome, guys. Thursday night down here. I don't know what happened to the microphone. Usually I check it, and usually it's good. Usually it's not. But tonight, anyway, I got to it before it could mess up. Again, welcome Thursday night, guys. I am sorry once again for the ban. I can't control Facebook, but it was only 3 days. We can take the 3 days. It's better to take the 3 days than take the month. We were going bonkers, right? So Thursday night down here at the Real and Raw Truth with Common Sense. Probably the only podcaster in Canada, of course, with common sense. I've been proving that over the years. It's over 5 years now. Pretty much everything that I've said, besides the whole Carney winning, that was a whole distraction. I should have known better, but you're seeing on an everyday basis of how much exposure and disclosure Carney and the Liberal parties is happening on a daily basis. So obviously, like the Joe Biden back in 2020, Trump is put in Save Canada for Last and showing everybody the amount of corruption and evilness there is in Canada when we were supposed to be the safest, peaceful country in the world, not with the pieces of dog crap that we have in Ottawa, obviously. So anyway, before we start off the podcast, guys, I'm rambling on like an old lady at bingo. Let's do our shout outs because, welcome to the freedom fighters, our American family and patriots, our common sensors, our Canadian patriots and truthers, common sensors. Let's do the shout outs and let's get this on the roll. First shout out is going to Miss Carrie. That's a first. Miss Carrie is the first one out there. She's missed me. How you doing, Brent, all the way from North Carolina? Mr. Gilles Bourgeois, Eldon Brown, back again, back at it again, back again. Yeah. Guess who's back? How you doing, Michelle from Ontario? Midia Dag Dale Robart from Nova Scotia. Miss Genevieve from The Rock. Kim Abbott, Mr. Joel Dag. Linda from Pennsylvania. Brenda Pryor. Mr. Vincent Guimont. Mac Demelo. Don't hate me if I can't pronounce your last name. That's why I usually just say people's first names. So Mac. How you doing, Mac? I know Sheila's from Texas because for some reason I always, when I see Sheila and her last name, I always know she's from Texas because she's from Texas, headed to Tennessee. Are you headed to Tennessee because you're moving from Texas to Tennessee? Please let me know because Tennessee is not a very good city to live in. To be honest with you, it's Democrat blue like you wouldn't believe. How you doing, Miss Tadaz, Yolanda, Miss Irene, Mike Boom, Alin, who else? May, Ron from the Peg area, Ruth from Harbor, Maine, Newfoundland. I can't like anyone's post. That's weird. There's a few people. Lisa Bork, Martin Dugas from Brother from a Different Mother. Mr. Sean, another brother from a different mother from Oshawa. Miss Judy Horn from Kentucky. Anyone else watching on YouTube besides Mike? Lisa, Annette, and Joan, Roland, Juanita, Sharon, Norman. No volume, no sound. What do you mean? We should be good? Yeah, we should be good. Yeah, Gina from Niagara. Mr. Serge Banar, all the way from Shediac. I was actually thinking about you, Serge, today, about how come we never hooked up this summer to at least hang out with just a bit. You know, it's been over a year. I haven't seen you. Give me a call. You know my number. Or if you don't know my number, get me on Facebook. I know you're married and have kids and all, but you still can hang out with the brother from a different mother in Moncton. It won't kill you. What's this? Norman says, I know how to piss a Punjabi off. I talk French to them, and you should see their face. Just talking to them pisses them off, to be honest with you. Tennessee is a red state. Yes, I know that, Brent, believe it or not. But there's some cities in Tennessee that are in like one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. I just seen something the other day. Not Tennessee itself. I'm talking about some of the cities are run by blue Democrat mayors. I'm not going to go which places in Tennessee, but I remember seeing that today or yesterday with some places in Tennessee. I just don't know what cities. We'll put it that way. How you doing, Sylvia? Okay, first things first. And Shidbat. First things first, guys. I don't know if you know, but I've been contemplating. I've been doing this contemplating for about the past 3 years. Okay, really. About politics. Do I want to get in politics? Do I have the time for being to get into politics? I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to say to get in to be a politician. Who wants to be a politician? It's the most corrupted job in the world. But to get into politics, I said enough is enough. 3 years ago, I wanted to get into it, but I said, you know what? Trump is going to do what Trump needs to do, okay? And he's going to clean this shit up, all right? That was my undertaking. But the problem is it's taken too long, especially in our country. Now, Trump's doing his thing in the United States, obviously, with the deportation. All the power to you, my friend. I just wish you were my grandfather, to be honest with you. But the problem is we don't have a Trump down here in Canada. And believe it or not, we have something like 4.9 million immigrants, newcomers / new Canadians that need to leave by December 2025. And I do believe it's not going to happen. Pierre Poilievre was going to make it happen, but I don't believe it's going to happen because what's going to happen is now that Pierre Poilievre is back into Parliament, what's going to happen is it's a very easy strategy that the Liberals did. And I think I told you guys a couple of times, and I'm going to tell it to you guys again. So what they did is the same thing Biden did, is they take a map of Canada. They find out in the last polls where were the conservative cities, conservative towns, right throughout Canada. And what they did with those conservative towns is they threw newcomers, immigrants, and I'm always going to call them immigrants. Well, Jeff, you're an immigrant yourself. Did you know that the natives were here first? You know where you can take that narrative, right? You know, and shove it up where the sun don't shine. No, we were settlers. Settlers and immigration and immigrants are two different things. I think I've already showed the video of that nice young female that pretty much described what the difference of coming to settle and building a society from bottom to the top, and an immigrant of coming in and inheriting, like to inherit it, the riches that us settlers have done. If you actually think for the slightest clue that any native that lived here and that were first on this land would have accomplished building a house or building any kind of technology or anything to advance human, then you definitely need a psychology check. All right, just to let you know, it hasn't happened in the past, and it definitely ain't happening in the future, and who knows in the near future. I don't even know what the hell Quebec, or not Quebec, but Winnipeg. Manitoba. They have Wab Kinew as a premier. I don't even know how that even came into bout. But I've always said, and I'm sorry, Ron, being from the Peg area, but I hate to say it, but Winnipeg, Manitoba, not Winnipeg, I'll just say Manitoba, is the toilet bowl of all Canada. If you literally got someone named Wab Kinew being your premier in your province, my friend, then you know there's a lot of, there's something happening, that there's not very bright people living in Manitoba, to be honest with you. I've said it. Sorry, that's the Archie Bunker persona in me, but it's not happening. And if you watched him, all right, that's like to call him a leader is literally like saying that the Liberal Party has smart members in there. It's like saying Carney, instead of calling him Skidmark Carney, is probably one of the smartest men in the world. If you think Wab Kinew has any kind of intelligence, all right, with his ponytail or whatever the natives call it, leave it, put in his feathers and put him back on the reserve, put somebody more responsible in there. That's the best bet. Amy goes, why are you talking fast? Am I talking fast? Am I really talking fast, guys? I mean, I can slow it down, but we only have an hour in the show, Miss Amy. All right. Just I get excited. Don't be sorry, buddy. Good. I wasn't insulting you personally, buddy. And happy birthday going out to Lisa from the UK. Happy birthday, Lisa, who just turned, was it Lisa, 29, 30 today? Happy birthday from all the gang. Just look at the Toronto mayors, Jeff. Oh, yeah, that's the second one, the Toronto mayor. But you know what, buddy? Vince, I look at the competitors she had. Remember her competitors for Toronto? I mean, I don't even know how that was possible for Toronto. It doesn't shock me to have some Chinese in there that can't even speak proper English, never mind any kind of English. But yeah, it's just sad in Toronto. And I just came back from Toronto. It really is a sad, they call it Ontarioable for a reason, unterrible. And that's exactly what it is. It's literally, you couldn't pay me $1 million. I remember walking down Yonge Street with my son, and I said, you know what, to my son and my girlfriend, I said, you couldn't pay me $1 million to live here. Would not even do it. I would turn down that $1 million. It wouldn't even take me 5 seconds to even think about living in Toronto, because it's not Toronto, it's not Canada. It's definitely, it's completely a whole different country. It doesn't even have an identity anymore. Just to let you know, Canada does not have an identity. And I've said that on my last live that you guys couldn't follow me. Toronto has lost its identity. All right. It really has. I'm going to play. I'm going to, before I get into this video, all right, what's this? I love the way Ben Balkus imitates or butchered English. I didn't know that was the name Ben, but yeah, it's pretty good. I've seen some videos with him talking like her. It's pretty funny. I don't care if anyone calls it racist, because it's exactly how one of those, I was going to use the word C with an ink at the end. Fuck it. I mean, screw it. I mean, chink, and how this chink actually talks. What, I don't even know where I got the filter. Chink, because that's exactly what she is. Chink, ruining downtown Toronto. I don't know if I showed you guys or if you guys seen. I had something that I shared, with this. I want you guys to check this out because this is definitely a brain cell. If she has more than a brain cell, I'm definitely going to capital the letter chink on this one. Check this out. This was her quote from this week, guys. I'm glad I saved it. Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow says her city is facing a $107 million shortfall this year because they're providing safe shelter for refugee claimants. We can't just leave them out in the street, she says. Man, how is this person hasn't been, I don't know what to say without sounding like, something bad to happen to her. How this person hasn't got a throat punch right now, I don't have the slightest clue. Toronto used to be one of the most cities that you couldn't really get far without being like street justice. If you had something like this about 20 years ago, this would have been beaten up. All right. Toronto has come a long way, of course, with that whole bullying baloney that they've been telling people that kids are committing suicide because they've been bullied at school. That's been a crock of garbage since the day one, because this was always pre-planned, pre-programmed, just to tame everybody down for what was to follow. Because here now we got a bunch of Antifa freaks with different colors of rainbow hair walking around the streets with fishnets and tattoos all over their faces. And 20 years ago, they would have been beaten up on the street. But now we're actually, we give them a month. Actually, we give them a whole summer to celebrate being trans and whatever they call themselves, donkeys, refrigerators. It's a very sad thing. So before I get into this next video, I want to show you guys something. All right. What's this? I can only reply. I cannot either like comments. All right. So before I get into this, because it should make you mad, all I've been seeing on the BS or hearing on the BS radio and the news, because I don't watch news, but I do turn on once in a while, turn on Moose on the Loose to hear what garbage he talks about, or Mr. Sunshine Baby, which garbage he talks about. And they usually quote stuff on the news. So apparently Mark Carney is across the sea in Europe making deals. All right, making deals. You know how idiotic Canadians are, especially the elbows up people, especially the liberal voters. Mark Carney's not making any deals. DEALS. Okay, and I'll give you an example. All right. Because I don't follow Canadian politics. It's a waste of time. I'd rather get kicked in the nuts with steel-toe cowboy boots before I sit in front of a TV to listen to anything with CBC, CTV, News, CNN for the States. Seriously, I'd rather get kicked in the nuts with steel-toe cowboy boots. Okay, probably worn by the obesity poster boy for obesity, turkey roll. All right, just to let you know. So, number one, he pledged $2 billion to Ukraine. All right, $2 billion to Ukraine for military stuff. We don't have money, so I love it when people say, hey, he invested $2 billion in Canadian money. No, we don't have money. I don't even care if you think what he's doing, but he's not sending a dime, because there's not a dime to be sent. That's number one. This is all about exposure. All right. Number two, he made a deal with Germany, but it's got nothing to do with Canada. All right. It's to buy submarines, to have submarines built in Germany. All right. The submarines to be built in Germany. Now, the question I'm going to ask you guys, and I'm going to say it again, and I've said it 1,000 times. The only thing that Canada needs, we don't need military. We don't need any military whatsoever. I'm going to say it again 100 times. We're not in any war. There's no wars going on in the world unless it starts by one country, and that's one country alone. We'll tell you guys, I'll ask you guys, as patriots, as truthers, as common sensor, name the one country in the world is the only country that starts war in all of the world. Who is the number one country in the world that is the bully and are the only ones that have been starting wars since the early 1900s? I can't go back 1800s because I don't know, but I guarantee it's probably the same country. So what do you guys think? Norman, Cecile, anybody else? Let's get your thinking caps, because it's an easy answer. It's like giving the answers out on a test. USA, exactly. USA, American. It's always been USA. We don't need a military. If I was prime minister, the first cut I do, besides the RCMP, would be the army, the military, would be the first cut. I would slash every military position out there in the world. In Canada. All right, I do it in the world. Okay, that'd be the first cut. All right, check this out. I would replace the RCMP, okay, with the soldiers that were in the army. Just to let you know, I would 100% defund the RCMP, put the military as police officers, not RCMP. I would definitely kill that corporation probably the first day in office. Military, see you later. And then the RCMP, see you later. And Sean goes, huh? We don't need military. There's no war. All right. Peacekeepers. No. All we need is a Navy going on the East Coast and Navy on the West Coast. And that is their only reason we have to have a Navy. Take a guess why we have to have a Navy, guys. Take a very good guess. We don't even a gay army, especially a gay army, but we don't need an army. I'll tell you what I do if I was prime minister and what anyone should do. I do the same thing what they do in Israel. All right, check this out. Even though I hate Israel with a passion. All right, is when you graduate from high school, check this out. When you graduate from high school, you would have to serve 2 years in the military. That would be no matter what kind of thing. You would have to serve 2 years in the military. All right. And when you serve 2 years in the military, if you want to go to college after the military, then it would be paid by the military. Now, we don't need a full launch military. All right. Just to let you know, it's for basic training for 2 years for the people, for the kids that are growing up, because it teaches them about survival, teach them about leadership, and it teaches them to be personal and about life, I guess you could say, right? So 2 years in the military, you come out, you want to go to university, college, it's paid for. It doesn't, you know why? Because you don't start off in university or in college coming out with debt. So you're already starting off. That would be the first thing. Any Army guys that are in there now that decide they want to get into RCMP, because I would defund the military now. The guys are in, the lifers, they'd be into police positions, okay? And it'd be provincial police. It would not be federal police. You understand what I mean? Gone. And Norman, you got the correct answer. The only reason we would need Navy ships on each side is only to make sure drugs don't come in from China and drugs don't come in from Pakistan. All right? Just to let you know. In Afghanistan, all right? Or even in the States. It's the only thing Canada needs. No, we don't need some bullshit army or Navy up in the Arctic because you think that the China is going to attack from the top or Russia, like they said, was going to attack from the top. Number one is you can't even get across up there. Number two is we live on a flat plane. I hate to shock you guys if you didn't know that, but just to let you know, we do live on a flat plane, the flat earth. So there's no such thing as a spear going 1,000 miles an hour, zooming 66,600 miles an hour through space, chasing after the sun through a galaxy going 400 and something thousand miles an hour, where the North Star stays at one point, right? And if you look at the sky, the Big Dipper's always at the same. I mean, it just complete idiocy. Like you would have to be a complete moron to believe this crap. I wish I was back in high school with the information I have now. Well, I would. Well, obviously, I'd be kicked out of high school because I'd be laughing at most of the teachers, the science teacher, the astrology teacher. I mean, social studies about our history, about natives. I mean, I would be laying down the truth on them, the smackdown, like Stone Cold would say. These people would lose their effing minds. All right. But that's what I would do. All right. Just to let you know. Gone RCMP. See you later to the military. Billions of dollars saved from the military. Billions of dollars saved from those corrupted RCMP. Do the 2 years. Get out of high school. 2 years being served for various reasons. Instead of our men thinking that they're raccoons and cats and dogs and, thinking they can get pregnant and, tampons in the washrooms. The Army's going to straighten that out for these guys, right? Right? Isn't that a great plan? Huh? It only took me 5 minutes to figure that out, right? Only 5 minutes. And then they go to university or college without any debt. So when they come out of university and college, they're not spending the next 5-10 years paying off that debt. Boom. Want to stay in the Army to be a doctor? Tell them what you want to do after the Army. Boom. Put you in doctor. Paid. Simple like that. Now we have our doctor shortage. It's not too short after all. Anyway, check out this video. All right. I want to talk about Mark Carney. And before I even go, here's another thing. Because I rambled off like an old lady at bingo there. Mark Carney not only bought submarines from Germany, which I don't know about you guys. This is what started my ramble about military. We don't need submarines. What are we doing with a submarine? Honest to goodness God, why do you even think that a country needs a submarine? Does anybody even know why you would need a submarine, spend hundreds of millions of dollars for this big steel thing that's hiding in the water to do what? To play sunken battleship? We're not at war. We're never going to be at war. If Donald Trump can tame the United States like he has done, there's no war anywhere. The only wars that have always been started was from Big Brother itself, which the Democrats, aka United States, and that's not happening anymore. Not with Big Don in the office. And after Don, who's it going to be? Some people are saying it's going to be the vice president. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be him. I think it's going to be another Trump. Trump's going for another 4 years, and after that, it's going to be either Eric or Don Jr. Okay, and it's not going to be the whatever his name is. To be honest with you, it's not happening. Sorry. And yes, you're exactly there. We could use a few water bombers. Yeah, exactly. We could use some water bombers. That's for effing sure, right? Common sense. Spending over $20 billion to Ukraine and we don't have enough water bombers. Common sense. You guys tell me. This is the reason why I need to get in politics. If you think Doug Ford, his brother, Rob Ford, was like one of the best politicians, which he was because he spoke his mind, you might as well call me Jeff Ford, because if you think Donald Trump is shaking things down, the United States, I'm going to shake it 10 times fold. Just to let you know, for the province of New Brunswick. And I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best for the next 3 years to do whatever I need to do. All right? Whatever I need to do to make some waves. And because at the end of the day, I care if I win, but if I lose, I'm only doing this for the province of New Brunswick because I already have my future planned out already. All right? I've already got my future planned out. I'm gone to Colombia in 5 years. I am gone to Colombia. Even if Canada turned into a paradise, I'm still gone to Colombia because that's where my future holds. Summer year round, no more snow. If I want to go on a trip to the Argentina, it's $200. If I want to go down to Brazil, it's $250. If I want to go on to the famous beach, it's $60 an airplane ride. It's just so much that I can do. And on top of that, I can build myself $1 million mansion. Well, Actually, $1 million doesn't get you far for a mansion down here, but I can build $1 million mansion in Colombia for under $200,000 Canadian. And I'm talking 3 floors, a swimming pool, a hot tub, open concept kitchen going outside. You don't even understand. For under 200 grand, my mind's already made. But if I end up winning, being a premier of New Brunswick, which I'm going to do my very best, I've got secrets, I've got plans, I've got a great strategy. I know exactly, we can't deport the immigrants, but I can tell you something. I've got something to make the deportation a lot easier for them to deport themselves. We're not going to have to do it, but they're going to deport themselves for what I have planned for them, just to let you know, because I'm not going to make it easy for them. I heard Trump won't finish his 4-year term because his job will be done, the job he was sent to do. Heard it on another podcast. That's not true. Then JDK Jr. will replace him. Heard on another podcast. Stealing taxes to fund foreign agendas while is nothing short of insidious domestic terrorism. Well, that's all they've been doing. Has been stealing. I mean, for the last 20 something years, 25 years, they've been stealing money from us, right? Just to let you know. I know where the money goes from our property tax, the money that goes for our gas that we pay at the pumps. I know where our income tax or our taxes off our paychecks goes, all that stuff. All right. I know where it's supposed to go. The perfect saying and analogy is when a country starts giving out billions and billions of dollars to other countries, there's a problem. The problem is, if you have the intensity to throw billions of dollars to other country, that means that the country that's throwing billions of dollars are being taxed over the neck, I guess you could say, is the best analogy I could think of. It's literally, and guys, I don't know if you know this, but Canada is the #1 country in the world with the highest taxes. All right. And speaking of that, comes to my final conclusion about Mark Carney. Now, military, submarines, he also pledged for another 3 years for more military troops to border. And I can't remember what the city or the town is that we already have military troops there now, but he's going to keep them there or keep the contract there for another 3 years to protect Ukraine from Russia, just to let you know. And I can't remember if it's Bosnia or something like that, right? I can't remember. Yeah, I know JT Vance is Trump's VP. I had a brain fart there, Brent, just to let you know. Vance, yeah. I'm not a big fan person for JD Vance, just because if you look up JD Vance back in 2016, he had a lot of nasty words to say about Trump. So I don't believe that's the real JD Vance. I've said it before. So Irene says our property tax went up 400. How does property tax go up, guys? Okay, if anyone can explain it to me, what your politicians, how does property tax go up? The only reason property tax goes up is because they're giving more and more and more money away. It's the only thing that I am going to hit everybody with when it comes down to, I've got a list to talk about, guys. If you are in New Brunswick, and I don't know if you guys know this, I'm doing something tomorrow in Sussex with a bunch of us, just to let you know. It's called Discussion for Change. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Discussion for Change. It's not a rally. Discussion for Change. Like-minded people getting together to talk about the issues that they're facing so we can do the only thing, rallies, protests. That crap is not going to work. Peaceful protest is never going to work. Okay? Plain and simple. So instead of doing protests, why not take that energy, that 4, 5, 6,000 people, 10,000 people, instead of protests, get involved. Get involved with this political party that I'm going to do and make it do waves. Because the only protests that will work are not peaceful, if you know what I mean. And I can't say it because I already been charged a long time ago with counseling to incite violence. If that even thinking about to incite violence, what a stupid thing. And I'm telling you something. The law system in New Brunswick, you're going to be definitely on my top 10 of things that are going to be changing with the RCMP, the justice system, the Crown prosecution. All of that stuff is going to change. I can guarantee you I'm not going to be their best friends if I can get in. I can promise you that. All right, just to let you know. So I want you guys to understand that Carney is out making deals, but he's not out making deals, guys. These things that I've been pointing out with the Europe thing, with the $2 billion going to Ukraine, with the buying of submarines from Germany, with signing another contract to leave more military at this town. Those are not making deals like the CBC or CTV News are telling you. That is spending money. Those are not deals. All right, spending more money. Okay, if that even makes any sense. I hope it does make sense, because there's no deals he's making. A deal is him spending more money. And that's the whole point of Carney. He needs to literally bankrupt Canada. Justin Trudeau started it. Carney's going to finish it, because Justin was supposed to finish it. But because of Justin's ratings went to shits, Carney comes in. They put out this smug bullshit narrative that he's the elbows up guy that's going to take care of Trump. Trump's bad man. Mr. Badman's taking, we're not selling Canada. And all of a sudden, just to let you know, Carney's in. They cheated. There's all kinds of proof on how they cheated. But Trump let it go. Trump let them cheat. All right? Trump let them cheat the exact same way how Biden cheated in 2020. They let that go because they need to expose. They need to drain the swamp. They need for these people to pop their heads up so they can grab them like those moles. Pock, pock, pock. All right? If you don't understand that, just to let you know, that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But if you don't understand what I mean about what the situation is in New Brunswick, through Canada, it's completely, United States are starting to feel it too, but Trump's going to put a stop to it. But in Canada alone, before I get to that, because I was talking about Mark Carney, here's a little video, 18 seconds about Mark Carney. 18 seconds for you people. I know the people that follow me are not elbows up, but check out this video. And if you don't have to be a psychologist to figure out how this piece of shit is lying, but check this out with China and Carney.
About you, why do you think that China, the PRC, seems to like you? Why are they praising you?
I have absolutely no idea, and I have absolutely no idea, and I think I'll leave it at that.
Catherine.
Now, I think I hate this guy just as much, if not more, than Justin Trudeau. Okay, but I want you guys to check this out as you are paying attention to his face. All right, I want you to take to focus on the people behind him. These are the people that need to get elbows up, where their eyes are so black that they never shine white again. But check out the people behind them. These, what happens to treason, right? With people that cause treason. Well, check out their faces behind Carney and tell me what you think.
About you, why do you think that China, the PRC, seems to like you? Why are they praising you?
I have absolutely no idea, and I have absolutely no idea, and I think I'll leave it at that.
Catherine.
Disgusting. Those people, I have no sympathy. I hope their boosters work for them faster than normal. But speaking of boosters and working fast, I want you to check out Mario, who does great reporting for a guy that owns 12 companies. But check this out with what he's catching on the immigration. And I mean, I can go on for hours talking about the immigrant problem in Canada, but I'm going to focus on immigrants that are happening in New Brunswick. But check this out if you guys don't think that the immigration problem is not done by design. Check this minute and 27 seconds video out.
Every single Canadian needs to be reminded of this. Do you guys remember Paul Chiang? He's the guy that recently resigned, but he signed this inquiry of ministry that showed how much per night asylum seekers got in order to stay at 4-star hotels. They would get $140 per night. They would get $84 per day for food. Literally, that's how much they would get for meals as of January 2024. In fact, just in November alone, the program operated 3,800 rooms across Canada, housing approximately 7,000 claimants at a total annual cost of $557 million. That's $500 million. And remember, Canada, they get more than just that. They're eligible for the Canada Child Benefit Program, which means if they have children under 6 years old, they get nearly $8,000 per year. If they have children between 6 to 17, they get up to $6,500 per year. And they also get a one-time startup allowance that's $905 per adult, and they get monthly income support in Ontario of $781 on top of what I showed you. This is what's called the wrap. And it doesn't end there. I dug a bit deeper. This is how much they get for winter clothing, regular clothing, staples, basic household needs, furniture, linens, utility installation. They get more than Canadians get who've been paying taxes their whole entire life. Remember, this is the party that cares more about refugees than they do about their own Canadian citizens. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But you know what, Mario? I have a plan. And when I meet tomorrow with the people for you guys in New Brunswick, just to let you know, so we're having a little gathering tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Sussex. 7 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, August 29th, in Sussex at the O'Connell Park. For the people that live around there or, got nothing to do on a Friday night, come down. Because like I said, it's more like a discussion. I'm going to try to get the leaders, the volunteers, people that want to make a change. And if we do this all together, I can guarantee you we have a chance of winning. Trust me, we have a chance of winning in 3 years because the Liberals are not going to keep up with what I have planned, just to let you know. There's not one smart Liberal out there that has a chance of taking this next election from us. And the only one way they can is by cheating. It's the only way. But what I have planned for a strategy for this new party, they have not one. They have a 1% chance of winning, just to let you know. Because you know what? A lot of voters, including Liberal voters right now, are seeing what's happening with the immigrants. They're not going to come out and say it because you have guys like Jeff Freedom come out and say it for them. But when it comes to the polls, they're going to be out there and they're going to be voting Jeff Freedom's party. I can promise you. We call those closet voters. They're not going to go and vote Liberal after what they're going to see in the next 3 years of what the Liberal Party in New Brunswick is going to do to them for their jobs, to the employment, to the health care. The schooling system is gone to crap. Guys, 16 hours. A kid just died the other day in Ontario waiting in the waiting room for 8 hours. But I can guarantee, if you don't believe me, go to your local emergency rooms. Go to your local emergencies room. Do a statistic. Find out how many people are in there. Check out how many newcomers and how many real Canadians. Now, the difference that you guys are not going to know because you're not like me. You haven't traveled the world as much as I have. But just because they're white doesn't mean that they're from Canada. You got to know what a German looks like, what a Ukrainian looks like, what a Russian looks like, what a Syrian looks like. You understand? Just to let you know, because when we were in Toronto, my son was like, Dad, that's a white person there, and that's a white person. I'm like, no, son, that's Ukrainian. You don't believe me? Come here. We go close to them. Sure, they were talking this funky language. I said, Ukraine or Russian, Slovakian. I said, you see, Noah, you can tell by their jaws, you can tell by their noses, and obviously you can tell by the way they talk with language. But I'm a pretty good judgment. I can analyze of, who's a real Canadian and who just came here on a free pass. You understand? Do that. Check it out. Well, I'm not going to have to tell you to go check out your nearest Walmart. You can guarantee, go at Walmart. If they got the employees of the month on the wall, go check out how many newcomers are on that wall compared to real Canadians and take a good look at it, because we have one in Moncton. And let me tell you, I shake my head out every time. There's like 31 of them. And it was over a year and a half ago, it was, half and half with newcomers and regular Canadians. Now it's like 25 newcomers and 5 Canadians. And it just give it another 6 months. There's could probably be one Canadian at Walmart. The only place that I've seen so far, knock on wood, okay, is Costco. So far, I haven't seen them at Costco working. Just to let you know, thumbs up goes to you, Costco. You know what customer service is all about, obviously, because Kent Homes, anything by J.D. Irving that's owned by J.D. Irving, from Midland Truckers to Kent Homes, they're all being taken away from everybody with Punjabis and Africans, just to let you know. All right. And I've said it once, I said it twice. Stop supporting businesses that get incentives for hiring immigrants, because you are putting yourselves and your kids and your cousins and your family members and friends and neighbors out of jobs for the future. If you guys can't do that, I have to step in and try to do it for you and then show you guys exactly what needs to be done. But I'm going to be pushing it, guys. Tomorrow's Friday night, 7 p.m. I'm definitely going to be there. And I'm letting you know, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm not doing it for me, because my future, I already have my future plan. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for your kids. I'm doing it for their kids. Because I'm telling you now, in 3 to 5 years from now, New Brunswick, well, it's already kind of lost its identity now, to be honest with you. I ain't going to lie, but it's really lost its identity right now. But in 3 years, you can guarantee we won't own anything. We won't own any businesses. Our management positions will be replaced with their kind. And I'm just letting you know, once they're in human resources as management, they don't hire no Canadian. They hire their kind. I know you guys know that. I don't have to repeat that. But I know a couple of liberals saying that the other day to my girlfriend. She was surprised they even said that. Yeah, it's true. And if you don't believe me, do yourselves a favor. Go see if Jeff Freedom is right. Go to your local college that has a human resource management course. Seriously, go to your local college and ask them, you have human resource management? They say, yes. Where's your class? And walk to the class when they're there. And I guarantee you 90% of the class, if not 95%, will be Punjabis. Just to let you know. Not Africans, Punjabs. All right, because I won't go anymore with African, but Punjab. Okay, just to let you know. Don't believe me? Check it out yourselves. All right, I do it on a daily, I won't say a daily basis, but a weekly basis. I analyze things just to see if I'm going crazy or if I'm still correct. All right, and I guarantee I'm still correct. All right, last thought of the day. I had some more things to talk to you guys, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this for Monday. All right, now I want you guys to listen up. Check this out. Check this out. All right, I was watching a movie over the weekend. I want you guys to hear this. All right, because this is a very good eye opener. Very good eye opener. I hope actually Roland hears this. If Roland doesn't hear this, if he's not there, I want you guys to tell Roland. What's this? The unions are hiring and employing them. Once they get in the info under their belts, our people will not get jobs. Oh, I know that. They're going to be taking over the unions pretty soon. But I'm going to put a stop to that. Trust me. My friends from Roger, who was there for years, was laid off. Reason was to make room for new Canadians. Denise, I've been hearing it and seeing it on a daily basis. Denise lives in my hometown. She said her friend works at Rogers. He was laid off. Reason was to make room for new Canadians. That, guys, I've been seeing it all over the place. So Denise, something like that, you need to, when it comes to getting it out there, you need to spread it. Don't keep it in you. Don't let anyone say, oh my God, that's a racist comment. You tell them to shove that racist comment up their ass so much. All right. Anybody that uses the word racist right now is a liberal. They've been indoctrinated, and you just ignore those people or you shame them. That's the best way to do this. The way how you shame those people is say, go take another vax. That usually shuts them up. Just to let you know, tell them to go take another vaccination or take another booster. That usually stops them in their track, because they know that you're right, and like, oh shit, how did she know that I took a vaccination? All right, just to let you know. So, all right, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I bet you guys, not one of you knows the answer. You know why? Because I just found out the answer by watching this movie, and I couldn't figure it out before. Not that I did any investigation. All right. But I want you guys to listen, okay? Pay attention to what I have to say, and we'll see if any of one of you guys can guess the answer. All right. So, you know, in the last 4 years, we've been waking up to a lot of things with kids, all right? To kids. Adrenochrome, kidnapping, child sex trafficking, abduction on kids. All right? You follow me now? The reason why we hear or see so much about kids, it's because it's evil against God. All right? It's a game, and a very good game, with the devil, Satan himself, against God. Now, what's the answer to that? What would be the answer to you guys when I'm saying, what is the association with kids, why they are attacking the kids, between Satan and God? Go for it. What would you guys think when this is an attack on God when they go after children? You tell me why. Not one person is going to have the answer because I couldn't believe it. But I watched the movie, and the movie was called Prisoners. It's a 2013 movie that my son got me to watch, which my son's amazing when it comes to stuff. I mean, my son is just amazing when it comes to like programs and stuff like that. I'm still getting him to teach me how to do the TikTok so I can gain more followers and open up people's eyes. Okay, so Sherry says purity. There's a lot on my wall. Children's souls are pure. Come on. Not one of you guys are going to get it. Children's innocence. Okay. Children are the purest beings. Okay. Anybody else? Come on. No answer is a dumb answer. Come on. I only got 5 people and there's like 70 people watching. Pure. Come on. Everybody's giving pure. Innocent. Don't know real evil. No. Nope. You guys are going to like the answer though. Because I mean, when I found out the answer from this, I walked outside. I actually came outside and went, wow, what a eye-opener that was. God's children, okay, souls, you guys done? You guys, children are the closest to God? Okay? See, not one is going to get, no clue. Not one of you guys are going to get it. All right? But I'm going to tell you the answer, and you guys are going to go, oh my God, that makes sense. Easy to influence? No. You guys ready for it? When you are a parent, you love your child from here to the moon, even though the moon's not that far away, by the way, because we live on a flat earth. You love your child with so much passion, okay? So much passion because you see yourself through that child. It's like you give up anything for your child. You would die for your child. You understand? You cut your arms off to give it to your child if it would save their life. Okay? But here's what happens. When your child goes missing, no, it's not that easy either, Irene. When your child goes missing, okay? When your child gets abducted, when your child is found dead, when your child was sexually abused, when your child is hurt badly on purpose, you know what? Who is the number one thing that the parents turn to go against when something happens bad to their child? What do the parents do mentally, emotionally? Where or who do they blame if something bad or terrible happens to their child? Exactly, John. They blame God. Why did God do this to me? Why did he do this to me? What did I ever do to God? That's how people, parents, end up hating God. Right? Makes sense? Mind-blowing. They blame God, and now the devil is capturing non-believers. Right? And it's very hard for a parent to come out of that mindset. When something terrible happens to their kid, they blame God for the rest of their life and they die a miserable life. And they just sold their soul to the devil. Right? Who would have thought about that, huh? And if you really want to watch a good movie that had that with the person in it, I ain't going to say how or where because I don't want to mess up the movie. It's called Prisoners. And it's with the with Jake. I can't pronounce his last name. My son can. Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever, Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal. It's a 2013 movie called Prisoners, where two girls get abducted. Okay, just to let you know. And it's got Jake. I think he's Canadian, but he plays in a lot of movies. He played in Jarhead. He played in where he was a cop out. A cop with a Mexican guy out in LA. Holy crap, I can't even believe I forgot most of his movies. Jake, anyway, it's 2013 called Prisoners. You'll know the actor when you see him. A great movie for you guys to watch. But the whole kicker, it's I don't know if it's on Netflix. My son streamed it somehow, but try to find it. All right. Try to find Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. So anyway, just to let you know, it's a great movie. Check it out, and you will you'll like the fact that I pointed that out to you. But you'll actually pick up some subliminal messages, but especially of what that person says. Why they go after children is to turn the parents into demons. All right, and that made a lot of sense. I was like, wow, because remember, they have to tell you what their plans are. So no bad karma comes to them. And when they tell us, we accept it. You understand? So anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. It's been an hour. I'm actually going to, Ron goes, what the F? I don't know what that means. What the F? Yeah, Ron, it's it's a good way, man. It's unbelievable. Anyway, that will be it for tonight, guys. I'm glad that I'm back on. I will try my hardest to not get banned again. Tomorrow I will stream. The thing tomorrow. My little gathering. I will have it live stream for you guys, just to let you know. It'll be live stream for everyone to see. All right. Just to let you guys know, I'll put it on something, on a poll, and I'll make sure that it's getting streamed so everyone can see and kind of be there for the people that don't live around New Brunswick and still want to be part to see what's going on. I'll make sure I'll stream that for you guys for the discussion for change for tomorrow. All right. I love you guys all. Take care. We'll see you guys back Monday. Have a great weekend. And I think I'm going to play a little kick-ass music because I know Trump is cleaning house on a daily basis, and he's doing it on records, like a record right now. And I don't mean a record that turns. I mean records like unbelievable, no more crossings. Let's get this shit done. I love you, Trump, for what you're doing, because if it wasn't for you, we would be in a mess right now. I'd probably be jailed or dead because there's no way they're going to put me in a FEMA camp for not taking the shot. So it would have been a mess, but you know what? It would have been well worth it. All right. I love you guys all. Here's a little Dropkick Murphys to close off the night. Like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. I love you all. Politics, here I come. I'm here to make some waves, and I'm not waiting any longer. Love you guys all.